Hello, good morning. It's Wednesday, the 12th of May, and we are here for another exciting ExSE Business Breakfast show. Yesterday was an absolute storm. We had such a busy hour with lots of great guests joining us in the studio. And wow, what a morning it was. Good morning, Nick. How are we?
Good morning. As always, David, very, very exciting. What a show yesterday. It was blistering pace, getting guests on, guests off, speakers, sponsors, exhibitors. Brilliant, mate, brilliant. Having a great time, as always.
Yeah. And did you go looking around the auditorium and visiting the stands and stuff like that? Did you join any breakout roundtable workshop sessions?
Did indeed, my friend. Blown away, really. You know, I've been to many exhibitions in my time, and I kind of got that feel, you know, going into the exhibition hall, you know, and it's really good. Yeah, 3 pages of exhibitors, which is fantastic. And then, you know, each of the stands, plenty of stuff to see, plenty of stuff to download, all of the videos. And I went to the network lounge and dropped in for a little bit of Ben Hunter Davis's his workshop, his masterclass. As you know, I'm doing a similar masterclass on Thursday, so I thought I'll check him out and see how it all works. Brilliant. You know, really good kind of content sharing, plenty of knowledge being shared around.
Yeah. Nick, you say you're doing a workshop on Thursday. Tell us more about it. We've probably got kind of 30 seconds.
Excellent. Yes, absolutely. A masterclass in Network Lounge Thursday at 11 o'clock till 11:40. All about getting through the digital noise. You know, as we know, very, very busy in this digital environment. And as a human communicator, how best can we get through that noise and massively resonate with our audience? That's what it is. Thursday, 11 o'clock. If you fancy a bit of human interaction.
Yeah, not only human interaction, but some great fun and some great top tips. And, you know, I'm sure you will keep us entertained. I will be coming along. I'll be sitting there digitally, front row seat, obviously the most expensive seats in the house. You don't get that all normally when you come and see you live on stage. You know, you're fighting to get that front row seat, but we will have the best seats available to us. So I'm looking really forward to that. And we've got lots of other great, you know, speakers throughout today and tomorrow. So the event is all day today and all day tomorrow. And we'll do some shout outs very shortly. But if you're sitting in the auditorium listening to Nick and I now, and you want us to shout out about your business, what you do, then pop it into the auditorium chat box and we will do that. We will try and get as many of those shout outs done as possible. If you're joining us live on Facebook or on YouTube, good morning and welcome to you. If you've not already signed up for the ExSE event, you've still got 2 days of great networking, great options to go around and see all the exhibitors, listen to the great speakers. So I'd encourage you, go to the website, exe.co.uk, sign up today, come along and join the fun. Nick, I think what we'll do is we're going to get Johnny Burkett in. And Johnny joined us yesterday morning on a couple of occasions. Johnny is heading up this operation as part of the Growth Hub, the lead for the Growth Hub. Let's get Johnny in just for a few brief words this morning. Good morning, Johnny.
Hi, David. Hi, Nick. How are you?
Really good. Thank you, Johnny. And lovely to see you again, sir.
Yeah, you too. So in for another day. Hump day, Wednesday is. Hump day. So busy agenda. Lot to do. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah, there's some great guests lined up for today, and there's lots of networking and exhibitors to go and see, and the networking cafe if people want to kind of get meeting and greeting and building new relationships, etc. But I know we had a few technical issues yesterday, and it's probably only fair we just touch on these to put people's minds at rest. Look, we're in a new era. You said yesterday, this is a new era. We're being bold. We're doing something different. You know, we're leading the way. And let's be honest, this is kind of one of the first of hopefully many online events. But things didn't go quite to plan. What did happen, Johnny, and what assurances are in place for today?
Yeah, we're very fortunate that everybody who's been involved in the event, either as an exhibitor or as a speaker, kind of really understood that we were kind of breaking new ground a little bit. And, you know, for all the testing in the world, it isn't until you go live, till you're in the mix of it, that you realize that you know there's certain things. So firstly, anybody who struggled either to get on to get on twice or to change their booth or their store yesterday. It's a sincere apology. We were doing everything we possibly could. You know, the guys at ExSE worked till 5 o'clock this morning just to make sure everything was right. So they've reassured us everything is absolutely tip top. Yeah, and I think, you know, we knew there was going to be 1 or 2 niggles. But everyone was really, really cool about it. And I think we had these 2 groups of people having a fantastic experience who were talking brilliantly about it, loving every minute of it. And these people banging at the doors ready to get in. And I think, I mean, that's not the ideal circumstance, but we're all good to go today. And I think we have the tech team and the guys there are on hand to help if anybody does have any similar issues that shouldn't be there. And a lot of the time it can be solved simply by changing the browser. You know, and we had some good stuff and people were really, really good about it. We really appreciate the support. But, you know, there is an element of learning on the job. So we're doing the best we can. But yeah, we're fingers crossed. We're hopeful for today. It'll be plain sailing all the way through. So no problem.
Sounds great. I think any issues, just grab hold of the admin team and they'll take care of us. Johnny, it's as you said yesterday, brave new world. You know, and who knows? You know, David and I are very familiar when the tech lets us down. The chat shows we've been doing, and we call it the business chat show where anything can happen. You can't guarantee the broadband in Spain, as it turns out. You know, early shows with freeze and all sorts.
They even read the wrong name out of the Oscars, you know. So, you know, it never runs perfectly and sweetly for everybody. But, you know, what I'd really like to say thank you for everybody was their understanding and patience yesterday while we tried to sort out some of the stuff. People understand that, you know, we're only a small team. You know, we're working with the guys in Canada as well. So, you know, there was a complexity to it. But, you know, we're really excited about today. There's some great stuff. And kind of the team are all already ready and willing to crack on again. So if you see bags under my eyes, that's because I was testing the system at 12 o'clock last night. So yeah,
this night, yeah. Look, Johnny, these things happen. I think people are respectful of that. Absolutely, we are in that brave new world, but we will conquer it together. We will make it happen. We will make the boat go faster, as Ben Hunt Davis will say, or says as well. Johnny, you're going to join us back around about 20 past 10 this morning. So we look forward to getting you back on the show and get an update what's happening, what's going to be hot today. So we'll catch you soon, Johnny. Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
Great stuff. Brilliant. Well, good to see Johnny again. Fabulous. And yeah, it's going to be a busy, as he says, this is a hump day. A busy, active day. And as is our show, as always, mate, we got a great lineup of guests this morning who are going to tell us about themselves and their businesses. So with no further ado, I would love to invite from Footprint Digital, the magical Mr. Dave Roscoe.
Morning, Nick. Morning, Dave. How are you both
today? My friend, are you well?
Yeah, all good, thank you. Yeah, looking forward to another exciting day.
Excellent, as we all are. Dave, we've got a few minutes between us. Tell us a little bit about Footprint Digital.
Yeah, Footprint, our digital marketing agency. We work with sort of businesses between the sort of 1 and 30 million mark. And we see ourselves very much as a strategic growth partner when we work with them. You know, we're looking to help people level up their business. And, you know, for a lot of people, that means taking advantage of the opportunities that now present themselves in digital. And what's interesting, you know, this is not a COVID phenomenon. You know, we are here today through this platform because of COVID. Obviously, we get that. But, you know, but digital has been around, you know, for a long, long time. I did my first websites back in the mid-90s with the Telegraph and people like that. So, you know, this stuff has been coming a long, long time. COVID has exacerbated some certain things of people getting online, and we're all much more comfortable doing this type of thing now. But actually, people have been buying and selling online for 20 odd years now. And, you know, what we've seen is a step towards that, you know, an even greater step, and things have kind of picked up. But, you know, this is not a new phenomenon.
No, I know. You know, I've spent some time with you and the team, and in the realm of digital, you know your way around, right? You guys are as good as in control of what's going on in the world of digital as I've ever seen. What can people expect if they ring on the bell coming to the stand today?
Well, what they can expect is an interesting discussion with somebody that really cares about them. And what sits at the heart of our business and why we set Footprint up 4 or 5 years ago was that we, all worked in all manner of different digital agencies over the years and become a little bit disenchanted with the kind of agency, the typical agency setup, which is, sell, get them in and keep the client quiet and that kind of thing. And we sit ourselves very much, as I say, as a strategic growth partner with people. So we're invested in their outcomes. And we want people to understand and learn when they're working with us as well. So education is something that sits very much at the heart of what we do. We teach at ExSE Business School on their master's courses. We work with growth hubs and Department of International Trade and things like that. And we give our time freely to share information and teach people at that same particular time. Recently we have a digital course that we bring people on, which is like a 27-day course, which we've distilled into a book. And if I can give it a quick plug, if that's not unfair. So this is Shoot the Hippo. And that basically in here is 20 years distilled experience from our team in terms of everything from thinking about who you are, what you do, what you sell, who you're selling to, how do you find those people, what are the different digital channels. Once you've got that client, how do you put that strategy together for them? And it's aimed, and then once you've got them, how do you help them improve outcomes? So that's about improving returns on investment all of the time. And whether you're agency side or whether you're a digital marketer working within a small business or a large business, those principles are all basically the same thing. And what we found, particularly with a lot of digital marketers that work client side, is that they're wearing far too many hats. It's a bit like the head chef syndrome. You go into a restaurant, you don't expect the head chef to take your coat and to take your drinks order and sit you at the table and things like that. That person needs to be there directing operations, and that's what should happen within any particular business. But if you look at most digital marketers and you look at the expectations on there, that they're probably 50, 60 different skill sets that they're expecting to be able to juggle by their employer. And we try and debunk that myth and try and break that down. And we position ourselves very much as a specialist in search marketing and the things that we do there. And we work in partnership with a lot of other agencies, but they might be web developers or brand builders or email marketers or whatever it might be. And those things, we bring them together. So we try and create a team for our client, cherry picking the best people to work with them. And that's the way to approach things. It's very difficult for one person or even one agency to try and handle all of those things. It's too much.
Yeah. There's a lot of clarity to be had around anything digital. If you just knock on the Footprint door. And the book, mate, I believe it's doing great things. Digital masterclass in book form, which is fantastic. It's great to see.
Yeah, there's so much information. Obviously, we would say that because we wrote it, but actually, we're genuinely proud of it. And I think you pick up a copy of it if you can and have a flick through. Even if you touch 10% of it, it will make a difference in your day. And I think that is the thing with the digital side of things, and that's why we love it so much and why we've been involved for such a long time, is because everything is measurable. Anything that you can do, you can actually see that return on investment or no return on investment, depending on whether it's worked for you or not. Things don't always go to plan, but it's the one kind of area that's going to make a difference. And I think the message for businesses out there are that if you're ignoring your website, if you're not really thinking about how people might come across your business on a day-to-day basis. I mean, you take a traditional kind of referral type business. Oh, I don't need a website because everybody is referred to me, and that's great. But the reality is, I might say to you, David, "Oh, can you give me a name of a great solicitor or a great accountant, somebody that I could go and talk to?" And you'll say, "Oh yeah, go and talk to Bob down the road. He's brilliant." Well, the first thing I'm going to do is Google him. I'm going to look at his website and I'm going to check him out. So by the time I actually get to speak to him, that's assuming I even bother to pick up the phone, because if I don't get a great experience through the website, I may not even bother picking up the phone. But by the time I do pick up the phone to him, I probably know as much about his business as he does, because if he's got a great website with lots of information and case studies, that should give me the confidence to pick up the phone and go and talk to him. So that's the age that we live in. And one of the things I always say to businesses, when was the last time you looked at your own website? When was the last time you looked at your own website on a mobile phone? That's another issue. You're
going to be scaring people, Dave. You're going to be scaring people. You're knocking on the stand. With banging on the door.
60% of traffic will hit your website from a mobile phone for most businesses, even if you're in B2B, and you can't ignore it. So, there's a little takeaway. Go and look at your website on your mobile phone.
And then when you're not too impressed with the results, check out the Footprint stand in the exhibition hall.
Yeah, come along and see us, and we'd love to have a chat with you.
Excellent.
One last question.
Oh, go on.
Before we do go, because we're just waiting for our next guest to be able to get into the green room. Obviously, maybe a little technical issue there joining us. As we say, technical issues happen everywhere. But the COVID pandemic. Now, you say, obviously, digital's been around for, 25 plus years. Absolutely, 100% agree with you. But do you think it's been accelerated in lots of businesses because we've been forced to work from home? We've been forced to think differently. We've been forced to take technical steps to make us appear better on a digital platform?
Yeah, undoubtedly. I think what it has done is it's focused businesses that already had a digital presence, it has to be said. What we've not seen is a great move. If you didn't have a website or you weren't selling online or what have you, and Primark is a really good example of that as a business. They've chosen not to sell online. Their clothing range, they've stayed offline because of cost. But for those that have websites, what we found in those early few weeks of lockdown last year, so sort of late March time, where people were approaching us and saying, look, I've been thinking about doing this for ages and I think about improving my game online, but I haven't really had time to think about it. I've been sat at home for 2 weeks on lockdown, or couldn't go to the office or what have you, and life has changed, and I've had a chance to re-strategize. And I think that's the key, David, is that the people have actually sort of had an opportunity to sit back and say, as a business, what do we want to do? How do we present ourselves? And where can we reach our clients through digital platforms or whatever it might be? So does that mean, taking part in these types of shows? Because it's not all about selling online, it's about being visible. How do I up my game from a social media perspective? How do I make sure that I'm making the right noise and just not making noise for the sake of noise? So tweeting Happy Friday isn't really adding anything to the mix, is it? Let's be honest, and it, as a business, you've got to really take a cold, hard look at how you present yourself online, and try and look at it through the eyes of your prospective customer. If you saw that tweet or that post or that Facebook, posting, or that piece of content on that website, that blog post or whatever, would you be impressed? Ask yourselves those really hard, interesting questions, and then you can then start to improve your experience for your potential customers online, and that's where that kind of comes from. So I think it's been more a case of re-strategizing for a lot of people, really working hard on their content and their positioning, and also an opportunity to really stand back and say, look, as a business, what is it that we actually do? What do we sell? What are the things that we've been selling for ages that actually we don't make any money out of? Yeah. And we're really not very good at them. Well, fine, this is an opportunity to reposition yourself, to drop those things and focus on the things that you're really, really good at. And that's your business evolving. But actually, that's not digital, is it? And the interesting thing, well, it is digital. It's all part of the business. And as a digital agency, we always never forget that life exists outside of digital as well. And that's important to remember that. Because if all you do is focus on your website, then you become very narrow and very, short-sighted. You have to think about that thing, how it fits together in the wider issue.
Absolutely. David, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show this morning. So if you want to find out more about Footprint Digital and how they can help enhance your website, check if it's mobile compliant, go along and find Dave and the team on Footprint Digital's booth today. David, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks, David. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Cheers. All the best. Bye now.
Cheers. Great stuff. As we said yesterday, it's so much to learn, so many great conversations to have, and there's so many exhibitors out there. There's something for everyone. Here's a quick shout out to some of the other exhibitors before we bring our next guest on. Zen Sport are in the room. We Care for Air, VRVE, Vintech Immersive, Veritas Entertainment Limited, the University of Essex, Tune Up Seafoods, I wonder what that's all about, TTC We Translate Limited, great team, definitely worth knocking on their stand, Trunk Logistics, Transporter Engineering, Trafalgar Lighting, that's beginning with T, Thurrock Council, the Essex Wine School, I wonder if they've got any samples for us, and the English Cream Tea Company.
That sounds excellent. So what would you rather, Nick? Transporter Engineering, no, there used to be a customer of mine many moons ago up at the Earlscombe Airfield in Essex. But would you like, to have on the show someone's going to talk about afternoon cream teas or about transporter trucks? I mean, it depends what floats your boat, of course, or drives your vehicle. But cream tea sounds great, doesn't it? A nice cup of English breakfast tea with is it a scone or a scone? Depends on pronunciation.
Yeah, I go for both, mate. Both scone, cream tea sounds lovely. They're in that. Go find them. They're in the exhibition hall. Go find them.
And if you're listening, actually, is it jam on first, then cream, or is it cream and then jam?
Well,
I don't know. It's a question.
I'll keep an eye on the chat, mate. Right, we've got.
Absolutely. If you can hear us, put it in the chat. We'd love to know. It's obviously baffling times. We're asking the question: jam or cream first. Anyway, let's get back to the show. That's much more important. Let's bring on our next guest, representing the FSB. FSB are proud sponsors of the ExSE 2021 Expo, and it's only fair to give our sponsors an opportunity to come on here and tell us a little bit more about, one, why they've sponsored, but two, more importantly, from our next guest, how he can help every business that's here today, watching, listening, making their way around the virtual arena. So let's welcome Rob Bamberger. Good morning. It's still morning, Rob, even in my part of the world. Good morning, Rob.
Yeah, good morning, both of you. I'd just like to say the question, would you rather talk about trucks or cream teas? I think let's have both. Let's have a truck full of cream tea.
Perfect answer. Yes.
Yeah. And then everyone's happy.
Everybody's happy. So good morning, Rob. Thanks for joining us in the virtual studio this morning. FSB. Now, I declared yesterday I have an interest in this as the regional chair for the East of England for the FSB. But I'm going to take that hat off because I'm going to hand it firmly over to you as one of the membership advisors throughout the region. There'll be some people here today who've probably never heard of the FSB. And as I said yesterday, some will think they're the Russian Secret Service. And I can assure you that's not the case. They are a business organisation. But tell us more about the FSB, who they are, what they do, and how they can help. I am confident everybody here today.
Well, let's start with FSB, the Federation of Small Businesses. Been around since the 70s. We've got 170,000 members nationwide, and we are there primarily as a support network for small businesses. Any small business with up to 249 employees. You get to 250, you're too big for us. So 249 employees or less. And what we do, we support businesses in a range of areas, legal areas, tax, etc. But more importantly, in some ways, we campaign on behalf of small businesses across the country to government, both local and national and regional, to get a better deal for small business and small business owners across the country. For instance, we campaigned successfully for a freeze on fuel duty, which obviously saved billions of pounds for small businesses across the country. As just one example. Before COVID started, we started a campaign for local councils to do something more about potholes in the road. But COVID came along, so we transferred all our resources into that. And if you go to the FSB website and you still haven't received everything that you might have needed to from the government via the furlough scheme or the grant scheme, you can go to the FSB website, don't have to be a member, and we talk to you in English, unlike the government website that talks to you in legalese. So that's one of the areas that we deal with. But when it comes to individual members, we provide a series of what we like to call benefits. And now those benefits range from your own personal health care to legal support. And I'll talk to you briefly about the legal support. As a member, you automatically get a legal protection scheme, which is worth to you, should you need it, up to £100,000 per claim. Now that covers every kind of law that you can think of, whether it's business law, company law, partnership law, things to do with GDPR, whether it's personal injury, so you don't have to go to Claims Direct if you have an accident that wasn't your fault. You're already a member of the FSB. We deal with employment law and tribunals. So with that employment protection comes a 24/7 telephone helpline. So you can phone up a lawyer, a specialist lawyer, and talk to them about your problem 24/7, 365. So even if you've got a problem on Christmas morning and you don't want your sprouts to go off, phone the lawyer and you won't feel quite so stressed. We also have an employment protection scheme, which is an important part of employment. So again, up to £100,000 per claim. We have an advice line staffed by qualified lawyers, and we will represent you all the way through to tribunal and beyond. And the awards of compensation agreed or awarded at an employment tribunal are covered by the £100,000 insurance. So if you have a team of more than one, then being a member of the FSB is worth it just for that. We also help you as an individual because you are the member, not your business. So if you have a health problem, if you fall on the stairs and hurt your coccyx and you need some therapy, we can help you with £250 worth of therapy. We can also get you in touch with a registered nurse, and she will take you through the NHS, guide you to regular NGOs, charities, to help you through whatever problem you have, whether it's physical or mental. And there's also a bereavement counselling service, which I can say from my own personal experience is absolutely brilliant. And those are just some of the many benefits of joining the FSB. So there we are.
Fantastic array of benefits, absolutely. And I've been a member for 16 plus years, and also formed in part of the roles for in the FSB as a volunteer as well, and can highly recommend it. It's great for connecting. We run some fantastic networking events as well, and obviously networking is such an important aspect. We're going to be hearing very shortly from Simona Daniel, who is the FSB development manager for the region, and we'll get Simona onto the show very shortly. But Rob, you're here. Yourself and Jeremy, who's the other membership advisor, you're kind of covering the booth, the stand over the next couple of days. So if people want to come along and find out more about the FSB, then come and find you on the stand, have a one-to-one conversation chat with you. But if they want to reach out to you, Rob, do you have an email address that they could contact you on if they can't get to the stand?
Oh, absolutely. I'll put it in the chat, but it's robert.bamberger@fsb.org.uk. But I will put it in the chat now.
Brilliant. There we go. So if you want to get in touch with Rob, find out more about the FSB, join and become a member for what's going to be less than the cost of a cup of coffee per day, because I think membership starts from around about £165 per annum, and doesn't top out. I think it's about £1,000 is the highest level, isn't it?
It's 1,010. 1,010, but that does include the £30 registration fee, which is only a one-off payment. So there we are.
It would be less than £1,000 to cover up to 250 of your team. I mean, it's value for money. But anyway, want to find out more? Come along, have a chat with Rob. But I can certainly give it a stamp of endorsement for my own business's uses, using all the features and functions, the benefits that you've mentioned. Rob, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
You're very welcome.
To have you on here, tell us more about what the FSB does. We'll catch you very soon. Thank you, Rob.
You're very welcome. Nice to see you.
Well, Nick, we're rattling through them this morning. Some great guests. Really intriguing to hear, what they've got to share from, going digital, putting your business online, making sure your website's working for you. Is it mobile compliance? We are in the age of digital these days more. As I said, I think COVID has really accelerated that. But obviously being part of a membership organisation, where it is the Federation of Small Businesses or others out there like the Chamber, the IOD, I think it's quite important to us as business owners. It's about connecting and joining the dots. Would you kind of agree with that?
Yeah. I think there's massive wealth of knowledge and support and talent out there that it would be, as a business owner, it would be daft not to tap into. If it's all about making the boat go faster, I'm hearing lots of things today that will definitely make my boat go faster. Makes me worried. I daren't look at my website on my mobile. I daren't have a look. But I might just have to, and then I'll go creeping up to the stand and say, help me. There's lots of chat going on the forum, on the ExSE forum here. We got Peter Hansen, we've got a Send Broking group, we've got FinPoint. We spoke to them yesterday, the FSB funding platform. Sila Errol was in the room at TTC. We translate. It's busy. It's busy, my friend.
That's great, and we're just the starting out. We're just getting things warmed up and ready for the rest of the day. I mean, the important part, and don't tune out now. Obviously, now you're here, stick around for the rest of the show. But it really kicks off come 10:30 when it's going to get busy out there. We're going to get lots of footfall coming through. People are going to be able to go along, have those conversations, those video calls, because it is. Sadly in a way, because you're a communications man, you like to, face to face, good old handshakes. And Glenys Chatterley we had on yesterday, it's all about the cuddles and the kisses as well. But, we are doing our best in this virtual world. And as Johnny said at the beginning of the show, we are in a bold new world, and there's going to be some things that don't always go our way. But look, let's stick at it. Let's carry on and do it together.
Yeah, makes sense to me, mate. Makes sense to me. Who have we got next? I'm excited.
Okay, well, Simona's sitting there. She's been patiently sitting backstage, ready to jump onto the show. So let's give a big warm welcome to Simona Daniel from the FSB. Simona, good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Good morning. It's such a pleasure to see you both this morning.
Long time no see. I think we spoke last week, so at one of the networking events. So welcome along to the ExSE Breakfast Show with Nick and I this morning, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So Simona, what can you tell me? What is a development manager for the lovely FSB, which I'm a big fan of?
Well, basically, we've got development managers throughout the whole of the country. I look after Essex, and basically, what we do is we support members. We support members on a local level. So we do a lot of work with the council, obviously, all the district councils, Essex County Council I work very close with. And we support members to really access the wealth of support that is available through FSB, with various stakeholders. Obviously, that's been really important throughout the whole pandemic. We help them to access their benefits. We make sure they're using their membership in the way that they should be. But probably more importantly, we do a lot of local lobbying. So I do a lot of work with the local MPs, ensuring that they're aware of the issues that the businesses are facing, and really sort of enabling that joined up approach between businesses and their local MP, and also local councillors as well. So we fly the flag for FSB on a local level and just ensure that members are thoroughly supported. Yeah. Not to mention the networking events, but I'm sure we'll come to that later on. We put on a host of support and networking events. I'll give a little plug for the Essex one now as well.
Let's talk networking. Tell us about the networking events, those networking events that have been running for in excess of a year now, virtually. Tell us more about the Essex one, of course, because that's the one that you're flying the for, but the rest of them that run throughout the country as well.
Yeah, right. So up and down the country, we host, as I say, a wealth of networking events and also support events as well. And they've been absolutely crucial throughout the pandemic. The support events are on a national level, but locally, we put on these events to enable people to still come along and do their bit to promote their services, meet each other, engage, access things that they need. And it's been really, really vital. We're getting such great feedback from businesses who have been able to access this wealth of benefits, and they've said, if it wasn't for FSB, they may not have even got through this pandemic without that opportunity to still meet and speak to other businesses. We held them physically before, as many people are probably aware, but I would definitely say virtually, and actually for me, this is probably the best thing that has come out of this pandemic, is our virtual networking events. We've held so many, and they've been just a huge success. Plug, as I said before, the Essex one takes place every Thursday, 11 o'clock. Join us if you want to have a look at the FSB events page on the FSB website and click on events, and you will see the host of events taking place across the country.
Great stuff. It's lovely. I'm getting a warm feeling about the support, the kind of companionship that you can get online, and hopefully soon enough face to face from all sorts of organisations. And it's great to hear that the FSB will give. I run a couple of businesses, but they're not massive. Will give the smaller business a voice. If my voice about potholes and everything else won't be heard, but you get like a group of ants, right? You get together and you are far more powerful. And it sounds like the FSB has got that voice.
Absolutely. I mean, I think, as I say, once again, the pandemic has really sort of, I think, driven home the level of work that FSB puts into campaigning. We've been name checked in Parliament, I can't count how many times, and really recognised, I would say, in the last couple of months for the work that we do, really campaigning and pushing forward the needs of businesses, in government. And actually, as a result, a lot of the support packages that came out for the pandemic are on the back of the advice that we've given. And we're fortunate enough to have that relationship with businesses. We're able to collate case studies, and really share the experience of businesses. And I think that's really, really been vital throughout this whole crisis. And we will continue. We will continue to do it. I mean, we've done it for many years, and we will continue. So, it is. I'm very, very fortunate to work for a fantastic organisation.
Yeah. And they are doing a great job, and the feedback certainly has gone through the roof recently, because the support that the FSB around the country are providing to their members and small businesses. It is about a membership. It's run by the members for the members, but it's not just for the members. It's about all small businesses throughout the land and bringing them together and making them work in unison. And I think that's such an important feature. And of course, if you join and become a member, then you get a lot of the benefits bolted on, which are a big value add. So Simona, networking coming up tomorrow, but if people want to register or find out more about the FSB, they can visit the website. Absolutely,
www.fsb.org.uk. Have a look at the website, very easy to navigate. As soon as you get on the page, you'll see a wealth of information and resources in relation to the pandemic. You'll also see all of the benefits that you can access. And in the top right hand, you'll also see all of the events. So you can scroll through and you can be in an event within half an hour somewhere across the country. The great thing about virtual is that, there's no sort of boundary. You can literally be joining an event from Essex to Cornwall in a matter of minutes. And also there's that support that's on there as well, from mental health support. We've got a great wellbeing hub at the moment. That's been really, really, useful, especially as it's Mental Health Awareness Week. You can see the array of benefits that are available there as well. Everything's on there, from Kickstart to, as I say, FSB Care to, or you can see all of the policy and lobbying work that's there as well. So, do take the time to look through our website. Everything is there for you.
Brilliant.
Excellent. Thank you ever so much, Simona. There's so many conversations to be had. And in the meantime, I think you're going to have a very busy exhibition stand in the hall today.
I know. I've heard it's already been busy.
Thank you for joining us on the lovely breakfast show.
Thank you so much.
It's been lovely. Thank you. Thanks ever so much.
Bye-bye.
Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.
See you again soon. Bye-bye.
So great, David. Great. So much to learn, so much going on. And straight after us, we've got keynote speaker Kath Bishop in the auditorium, followed by Alex Barker, the next keynote speaker. You could get comfortable in this auditorium, couldn't you? You could just one massive bit of value after the next, get your notepads out and learn from some experts.
And there's not many auditoriums in the world that you can sit there, listen to great keynote speakers, eating your popcorn, sipping on your can in your underpants and your slippers. That just doesn't happen in real world. And of course, we hope it never does, of course, as well. Otherwise, we could be in some embarrassing moments. Anyway, back to the show. Let's get back to reality and bring on another great guest. Our next guest is Lee Strachan from Galactica IT. So good morning, Lee. Hello and welcome.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are we both?
Very, very well. Thank you, Lee.
Good. Good. I must say, I'm enjoying what I'm seeing so far. It's, I did watch briefly yesterday as well, and it's going bang at the moment, shall I say.
Boom, absolutely. And you're on stage as well at some point during the...
I am, yes. In just over 2 hours. Going to be giving a good old inspirational story, as well as driving... our niche little family business as well. So I won't go into too much detail on that, but it's regarding me living homeless on the street in the south of Essex for 2.5 years and get myself back on my feet to where I sit now with the business with my cousin. So it is more of an inspirational discussion as such, and to kind of get my message out there that everything's possible. And it sounds very soppy, this, but the dreams do come true if you've got the inspiration to do it as such. So there'll be that element of it, and there will be the second half also driving the successful business, what actually laid to bed from that as such, and where we stand now.
Fantastic stuff. That's 12:30, isn't it? 12:30 on the main stage in the auditorium. So Lee, tell us a bit about the business. Don't give too much away about your keynote talk, but what is the business?
So we started off back in 2016. Well, I say I, as a sole trader. That started off from me getting back on my feet, getting a roof over my head, of course, not having a full job at the time as such. And it was picking up, should we say, hobbies as such. I've always had a passion in IT, breaking things and repairing them again. And it was very much like that, and that was in the city of London where the work was at the time. As of that point, it's grown. It's established into a limited back in 2018 under its former name, and now it's merged in with a family relative of mine called Paul Strachan, who lives in New York. So now with that element of it, he invests a lot into the company, as well as myself now. And we're offering a wide range of solutions. We're not just an IT provider. Also, we do the basic to basic IT solutions and support requirement for our businesses, small to large, as well as sole traders. But we're also now going into fibre installations. We're going into FM, a bit FM now, with fire panel installations and integrated systems. And we're now in the process, finally, after many years, actually designing our own app, which is one of my main goals to deliver to the private healthcare sector, which we've got an interested client of ours that would be keen to pilot that over the next probably 6 months to 12 months time. What makes us different? We're a family-run business, and we always will be. And no matter how much we grow, we will always carry that inspiration right behind us, as well as our other strides and targets, which are delivered on our website. And we want to help businesses grow. We're not just there just to provide a solution. We are there from a consultancy point to help small businesses grow and large get that extra mile step in their success and their story. And that's what brings us, myself, to ExSE now, today, and over the next couple of days, including today, actually, is to deliver what we can offer to the local businesses of Essex now. We've put our focus into London. We want to bring it back home now. And the only way of doing that is by coming on such successful business festivals like this, and getting our name out there and getting our recognition out there.
Fantastic. And it's great to have you here in the studio, and great that you're at ExSE for the next few days, and people can come and find you and obviously have a chat with you on your virtual stand. come along and listen to your. I'm going to join that because that sounds like a great talk.
Please.
I want to really hear the story because obviously I can just tell by the way you're speaking now the passion that's there. But it sounds like there is obviously something that happened and you ended up where you were, but it's kind of fired you back into the driving seat, and now you're all four wheels in the right direction, moving forward at some rapid pace. Global now as well in New York, as well as London and Essex, which is fantastic. Expansion is taking place and happening. So it sounds like it's going to be a really cool and interesting, talk. So I will be coming along and sitting in the virtual studio, not quite in my underpants. I will be fully clothed, just so you don't get that vision when you're presenting from stage. So IT, you're talking about my background is technology. My first business was a tech company, and you're now moving out into other areas. We're going to have an offline conversation. I'm sure there's things that we can work on together. But what sort of projects are you finding most? Certainly during lockdown, when that kind of kicked in, and pandemic, we're talking about going online, virtual events like this. What things are you finding people are coming to you and saying, God, I need your help, help. Can you get this sorted? What's been the biggest uptake recently?
So unfortunately, COVID's not been great to many of us, and anyway, of getting back up there is what we're doing now. One area where the IT industry, particularly, I'll comment openly, is the IT sector has been extremely supportive to other businesses, healthcare especially, and also sole traders who rely on their own status of their everyday income. And we've been getting multiple hundreds of requests, laptops, web cameras, having remote access to their on-premise servers, moving up to the cloud with Azure, Microsoft Azure, which is a cloud-based solution, network solution. So it gives that ability to staff to work from home whilst their office blocks or their retail outlets were closed throughout that whole pandemic process. Hopefully we won't go back down that route. But it's open. It's had a massive eye open for a lot of businesses of the lifestyle that we live in, and obviously what we're experiencing now, which is probably nil to the never of happening. And the quick response from so many businesses is remarkable. I mean, because no one would ever put it into their business continuity. Oh, there's going to be a pandemic. So the response rate from small to large, and that's from all our clients, was amazing, and we was there to support them through that process. We voluntarily hired out equipment. Some purchased that were able to afford that ability, but for those that weren't able to, we hired out equipment just so they can keep their heads and toes above water and not sinking. To our sole traders who just wanted, support things like with their website and just getting their name out there over optimization. Because when they're not on the road, no one knows they're there as such. So we have noticed a massive uphill from the pandemic, from a supportive avenue, of course, and let that shine. That will continue. Not obviously the pandemic, of course, but our support to our clients and any potential existing that approach us as well. We will be there, thick and thin as such, until this disappears, and it will.
Wow, that sounds, Lee, going to be a great talk, no doubt. Great news that the IT is coming home, right? We've rescued London, and IT is coming back to Essex. Brilliant. And great to have you on the show.
It is. No, you're welcome. Sorry to interrupt you, of course.
No problem. It's lovely speaking to you and getting just a little glimpse of what the business does and kind of what's behind that. And so you're exhibiting as well. So people watching after the talk or before the talk can come and knock on the stand and have a deep conversation about all things IT.
Everyone's more than welcome to come have if it's a general chat, to learn more about me, if they want to talk business, they can talk business, as they say. But I would greatly encourage those, obviously, if you wish to come to the main stage at 12:30, please do. I will be giving more insight into my my rough life to the pro life now, and it'll be good inspiration for those that are not 100% there yet, obviously, with business as well. So I will be talking with some ideas and inspiration for business alongside it, as well as my own company.
Brilliant. Lee, we look super forward to that. I will be there in the studio listening in. Have a great day, and hopefully we'll catch up maybe at the event or afterwards. So catch you soon.
Please do. Please do.
Thanks
Thank you, folks. Have a good day.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Cheers, Lee.
Okay, Nick, we're storming through. We've only got literally 10 minutes of this morning's breakfast show remaining. Takeaways from today. We're going to get Johnny back on the show very shortly and just get some updates from what's happening from Johnny's perspective. But what are your, key things, takeaways from today, Nick?
It's a lovely day, right? So just masses of authenticity coming across. People really care about their businesses and care about spreading the good stuff. Right, just like yesterday, it was kind of a very engaging audience. We've got so many exhibitors out there, and if they're all like the people that have come on the show, it's going to be richness walking around that exhibition hall today. I've got a few more shout outs.
Go for it. Let's do the shout outs.
We've got ExSE Sports Therapy. Okay, so any niggles you've got after you run on Tuesday evening, I think ExSE Sports Therapy are worth a conversation. Surgical Holdings, Superfast Essex Success Recruit, Sterling Washroom Services, Spectrum Merchandising, Senator Pens Limited, CLEP, SELEP. We got Secret Hamper, and I noticed in the chat Nigel Richardson is in the house. So
good morning, Nigel.
Call on Nigel.
Let's get Nigel. Nigel, we've got a slot on the show tomorrow. If you're listening now, let's get you on the show tomorrow, Nigel. We'll find 5 minutes for you because you've got a very inspirational story to share, and it'd be great for you to do a big shout out about how you're helping people. That's the thing. You're really kind of putting something back into society. So it'd be great to have you on the show tomorrow, Nigel. Do look us up. Give us a shout out. Yes,
if you're looking for different ways to show appreciation to your staff, then or clients, then Nigel's the man to call up. We've got SEBB, we've got SBC, we've got Rose Associates, Rochford District Council, Proud Consulting, and PLMR, to name but a few. More shout outs coming probably tomorrow.
Excellent. Well, there we go. So great lot of shout outs there. Lots of great exhibitors. I'm going to get myself around the virtual show today and go and knock on some doors and ring some doorbells and have some conversations. But let's bring Johnny back on to get us wrapped up for today. Welcome back, Johnny. What's it like sitting backstage, listening to all this great sharing? What's happening?
Oh, it's fantastic. Lee as well, I really, really strongly recommend people go and see his talk because it's a real inspiration. I think when we were putting this together, one of the concepts that came out was kind of like a business fringe festival, and the idea that business stories, people's genuine stories and emotional, journeys would come through. And I think he really, really captures that for us. So I'm really looking forward to that at 12:30. But it's a big day today, and there's so much going on that you don't know where you're going to go. So yeah, smashing.
Really good. I think, have you had a chance this morning to have a look at the exhibition, or is it hustly and bustly?
It is hustly and bustly. So we're pleased to say that 99% of the exhibitors are happy and exhibiting, which is great news. We're just tying up a couple of loose ends with that, but it's we've got a really, really good, strong showing, and I really kind of want to encourage people to go and kind of do their networking as if they were at the event themselves. So, go out there, meet your fellow exhibitors, share your virtual business cards, visit us at the Peer Networks booth and the Best Surgery. We've got we're there as well, so we're here to help. And I really do want people to kind of explore the program of speakers and talks and workshops. We've got everything from virtual reality and innovation. We've got Sarah Brockwell's launch of the Novo Awards, recognising innovation and creativity across Essex. And then we've got some big hitters as well. So, we've got Navigating Your Business Forward and Funding and Scale Up by our very own Theo and Peter and Robert, which is a very, very strong panel about those businesses who are kind of looking to take the next step. Anything from tech, filming. It's just amazing today, really. And again, finally, a big shout out to, we've got another pirate today. So Alex is a co-author of Be More Pirate, which is an inspirational book, and he's on at 11:30. being coupled by Kath Bishop, who's next. Another Olympian. So really, really strong day. So a lot going on.
Yeah, great lineup. And my doorbell's been ringing on my booth while I've been sitting here. And I will, after the show, jump into my booth, Simbok Limited, if you want to come along and have a chat with me. But yeah, it proves that the tech is back up and running. And as you say, 99.9% of exhibitors are now happy. And that's, fantastic news. And I look forward to a really good day. And we're back tomorrow as well. Johnny, you're going to join us on the show again tomorrow. Give us the updates of what's happening tomorrow. And, we'll get some more great feedback, some more shout-outs. And we'll find out who's on the stage as of tomorrow as well, who's going to be speaking. Nick, you're speaking tomorrow. Oh, we did that one earlier, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Yeah, you got, as you say, Johnny, you got some big hitters. Yeah, you got some big hitters on the menu of talks and workshops. And I'm a big, massive fan of the Be More Pirate book. Just so much great stuff, right? To get your hands on, get your head around. And I think this, for me, exhibitions and conferences, they shape the direction of my business for months to come. The people I meet, the stuff I learn. It's like reading an amazing book, right? That turns your head and you never look back. And the opportunity is there to listen to great speakers, to go and have great conversations in the exhibition hall or network with potential future partners. People right now could be there ready for collaborations that could change the face of your business. It's a world of wonder to be had.
Absolutely. And other good news, Nigel Richardson just put back. He will come on the show tomorrow. So we'll hear more about the secret hamper tomorrow and the mission to change the world, really, looking after everyone and the stories around the NHS and stuff like that he's been pivotal in bringing to fruition over the past several years. So that'd be really good. Nigel, we'll find a slot for you. We'll get in touch and get you firmly penciled into the calendar. The time is ticking away. We have less than 2 minutes before we go off of air. But remember, we are back tomorrow from 9:30 a.m. through to 10:30. Johnny will be joining us. We have a great setup of people joining us in the box tomorrow, including James Sinclair, who has recently bought the Rossi ice cream brand. Come along and listen to James. He's a guest speaker tomorrow, a keynote speaker tomorrow as well. But he's here first on the show, so we're going to be finding out a little bit more about that recent business purchase. We've got Mark Bethin in the studio as well. Mark is not only the exhibitor, a sponsor, a speaker, but he is also the owner of the platform. He's the one from Event Zoo that's made all this possible. Mark, we will be nice to you. We won't put any awkward questions to you, but it'll be really good to understand how technology doesn't always go to plan and how things, need to be looked after and nurtured. And as Johnny said, up till 5 a.m, making sure it's all ready for everybody to use today. And I think that's, hats off to you and a great round of applause and thanks to your team for doing so. Nick, any final words from yourself, and then we'll let Johnny send us out for the morning.
Yeah, I spoke to my mum yesterday, right? And we're on a WhatsApp call, and I showed her. She says, "So what's all this exhibition thing you're talking about?" And I showed her with my phone on the screen and took her into the exhibition hall and into the auditorium. And she asked, quite rightly, "How did you make that happen?" Right? So there's a question for Mark tomorrow. How on earth, right? How on earth do you make this magic happen? So yeah, very excited about what's to come today and of course tomorrow.
And Johnny, the final words are all yours.
Thanks, guys, and thanks again for all the promotion to all the speakers today. Welcome to day 2, and I'm heading over to see Kath Bishop in the auditorium. I want to know how to work under more than one high-pressure environment. All the best, guys, and enjoy the day.
Bye-bye from me.
Bye-bye from me.